Welcome to Montalegre and the final paddock walk of the FIE European Rallycross Championship season for 2024 and also round 7 and 8 of the FIA World Rallycross Championship. Let's have a look here quickly at Balázs Komocsi's Volkswagen Polo, looking rather second hand, isn't it? Look at this. This is a good example of the rough and tough of rallycross racing. One of that's a bit of his own bumper, it might well be, but it's certainly a bit of fiberglass panel, composite panel, stuck in the rim there. Been over Komocsi a couple of times, I think. Pretty sure he didn't roll this weekend, unless he maybe did. He rolled actually in practice on Saturday morning. That feels like an incredibly long time ago, I must say. Let's go in here. See you, dealer team. Everyone's sort of kind of packing up, but they're also re-prepping for the next event. So there's work to do. Nicholas Gronheim, sorry to interrupt, mate. We're in the paddock walk, an up and down weekend for lots of people, and you had amazing pace yesterday. Today, still quick, but just didn't seem to come together for you in the same way.
I think that was, not really quick, to be honest. I don't know what went wrong. No pace today. Good starts, but it's not enough. No track speed, so yeah, difficult.
Montalegre is a circuit you've always gone well at in the past. How has it been racing against the internal combustion cars here? It's been pretty close. You've been making brilliant starts, and it's been an interesting weekend from our point of view, at least.
Yeah, I mean, we could see that EV cars can win. That, Kevin showed it today. So I guess you need to look in the mirror. It was fairly equal. But yeah, yesterday was good. I think the track conditions helped us a little bit. I felt more comfortable. Today it was a lot more grip on the gravel section. We couldn't put it together. So two completely different days for us, or for me at least. So a bit of a shame today, but what can you do?
I'm sure you'll be back. Yep. Thank you, Nicholas. I know speaking to the media is not your favourite occupation. I heard Clara before, but presumably she's run away to hide. Yeah, of course she's hidden. We'll get Jussi then, he was hiding as well. But where's she gone? There she is. Come back. What are you doing? This is supposed to be a professional broadcast.
Absolutely.
I haven't. Sorry, mate. I haven't spoken to you much this weekend. It's been an intense double-header. What's been going on, mate? You don't seem to have had the confidence in the car or the pace we would expect around here. It looks from my side like it's been pretty hard for you.
It's been very hard. We did a complete reset yesterday to today. So today it started a little bit better, but yeah, it just felt like we haven't had a car in the window today.
You came here a few years ago, and this was a circuit outside your comfort zone, but you came into this weekend saying it was somewhere you actually you really like and you enjoy driving here. Explain from the driver's point of view, when you get outside of that window where you're feeling at one with everything, it just doesn't gel and flow in the same way?
Yeah, it's the most frustrating thing in the world when you feel like you're trying everything, but it just doesn't go. So yeah, it's a shame. It's my favorite track with Höljes, and I know I've been quick here in the past, but this weekend it felt like, whatever we did for both cars, it just didn't go our way.
Interesting EOT, or the balance between the ice cars and the electrics. Both you and Nicholas made brilliant starts all weekend. It's been an interesting weekend from that point of view.
Yeah, for sure. The starts have been super nice, and we see clearly, for example, with the track evolution, that it suits some cars better than others. But I think it's interesting to see Battle of Technologies this year. It's a good concept in my eyes, and I hope that we will come back stronger now for the next race.
Thank you, Clara. I'm sure you will. You can go and hide now. Thank you, mate. We will continue on our way. Andrew Wheatley, hello, mate. How's it going? From FIA, Oscar who had the sorry job of looking after the CE demo kart when I was driving that in Belgium with Mike Chen. All sorts of people doing work here. Michaela Allen-Kotlinski, that was a dramatic final, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a bit too dramatic, not the way I wished for, but yeah, that's Rallycross. Sometimes things like that happen, and yeah.
I know you didn't plan to do the full season, but you had some strong results and have kept going. How has this season overall been for you?
I mean, if you look at the results, it's not like it was last year. I mean, last year was P3 overall, and I think I'm P4, I actually don't know. But I would say, like, driving-wise, I do feel that I've developed quite a lot looking back from last year, especially when it comes to these rougher gravel parts. Like, I was racing in Hong Kong in sometimes conditions similar to these ones, and I was struggling so much. And this weekend, today, we were struggling a bit with pace, but I do feel that I've improved from Hong Kong if you compare this to last year. So yeah, I'm proud about that. But then of course, you know, it's bittersweet to stand here with the P4.
Last year you were full of the love for Rallycross. How is that feeling at the moment?
Now there is for sure still love of Rallycross. You know, I think it's a lot of fun, and I've developed a lot, and I for sure want to do more. I did do this as a compliment to Extreme E last year, and this year it turned out to be full season again. But yeah, I would love to come back to do a full season where you know from the start you're going to do full season, and that you prepare in that way as well.
Thank you. It's great to have you here. Thank you, Michaela. We will hopefully see you again in the future. I'm just going to interrupt this conversation quickly. Nils Anderson, I know we've spoken to you in the press conference. Well done again, mate. That's.
I'm dressed this time.
Hey,
clothes.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
I've slept since then.
Did you see that the views went up? No.
They plummeted. They did. If you look at the little thing, it just. How's it been? You came here with a job to do. We talk a lot about it, but the adrenaline of the driving is, I guess, it's starting to go down a bit now. How satisfied are you with nailing the championship on this weekend?
No, for sure. I mean, it's as you said, it's a bit of a satisfaction. It feels like you can give yourself a pat on the shoulder and say you did a good work. So for me, it feels really nice, and to enjoy a bit of some beer and some champagne in the tent. It's what you, as my spotters say, you always experience this once or twice in a lifetime. So you better enjoy. So for sure, that's what I do right now.
That's an instruction. I'll leave you to it, mate. I don't want to interrupt anymore. Well done, Nils. Well done to everyone in RX2E. We've spoken to a lot of Team E people, but this is Ian Davis, Nils' spotter, who Nils just referenced as saying you don't experience this very often into Hansen Motorsport. Here's a man who's had some success in Portugal in the past. Kenneth Hansen, well done. You started the season in a difficult place, didn't you? But Belgium went well, and this weekend the pace has been consistently there. How would you summarise this weekend in Portugal?
Yeah, I mean, last time in Belgium we were also quite good, and we found some things and we improved. So yesterday, I think we didn't have really that luck, or what you say. We had the speed, but we didn't get it to a result. Today it was different. So today we managed to get the tactics right and managed to get it so both cars on the podium, win and a third place. So I think that's absolutely perfect for us, and we couldn't expect so much more.
Talk about being in Portugal. We heard from Suzanne actually in the Friday night paddock walk, and Kevin referenced in the press conference you had a lot of success in Lusada, especially in your career, and there's a lot of fans still around from that era. It's a special place to come, isn't it, Portugal?
It is. The fans are so happy, and they enjoy so much. And if, like me, when I have had all these successes in Lusada and also here some of them, they remember that, and they warm the heart when you come back and you need to sign autographs and so. And obviously, in the future, perhaps we also come back to Lusada sometime. So it would be nice. But Montalegre have been a fantastic place.
I guess in this game you're used to signing checks quite a lot rather than autographs as well. So it must be nice for you on that front.
Exactly. That's good. That's a good comparison. More checks than autographs.
Speaking of which, massive damage to Timmy's car yesterday after that incident crossing the finish line in the final. Just talk us through what was kind of involved from the team side overnight to get the car ready for today.
I mean, when the car come back and you see the guys, they're a little worried, and you ask the question, how bad is it? It's not that bad, but they keep on working after midnight and get it right again. Of course, we were a little, lucky. The damages was big, but not so big that we couldn't repair it. So it's a teamwork, and what I like most in this team is that the spirit is there. Even if it's really hard times, they work together and they help each other, and the smile is still there, energy is there, and that's what motivates also to continue, when it's like that.
And we can't get away from the fact that a lot of these cars now have degrees of chassis damage. I don't mean it's affecting the car structurally, but sills are damaged and boot floors are damaged and that sort of thing. And you're sort of compromising all the time to make sure that all four wheels are pointing in the right direction and it's mechanically sound. But Rallycross cars need a lot of love, don't they? And it's not until the winter months where you can get them home and really straighten out all those little things.
That's true. I mean, most of it, you can see how it looks. And I mean, Kevin's, when you look in the back, you can see 20 centimeter of gap just out. So it's heavily damaged, but it's cosmetic, as I said. It has nothing to do with the performance. So that's why we can continue. As long as all the important points are there, it's possible to run. And of course, they need quite a good service during the winter.
Thank you, Kenneth. We'll leave you alone. Great to speak to you. We'll head this way. Watch that Jack, Liam. The Hansen media team still working away. Let's just jump in here quickly and interrupt. Sorry, Dave. Can we just grab a quick word with Kevin?
Yeah, I will let you know.
I was just saving you, really, mate. So he wanders off. Kevin, you've been on the TV and we've been in the press conference, but just quickly, bit of a monkey off your back to get this first electric win. You've been so close so many times, and you did win in Hong Kong last year. Not the same cars. The concept you developed with your team so closely and finally on the top step must be wonderful.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it took me 3 years. When I realized, I was like, "Cry!" I felt like I've had wins in this car already. But it just shows that the changes that we made are working. It's the only track that we had maybe a small, step closer to the petrol cars, and we weren't faster, but we were able to at least take the start and then play the game and be in front. And I didn't do any mistakes in the final, so it's nice to get a W. And my team has been working so hard for that one. Always kept the car beautifully, and so much damage from the last race when Ole Christian hit us in turn 1, so they had to rebuild the complete rear end of the car, and it was a winning rebuild, so that's nice.
And a word for Ole Christian's teammate Johan Kristoffersson. Great fight with him in the final there.
Yeah, it's nice. We've had a couple of, since our Hungary incident, we've had a couple of nice battles. I think he learned something from that, and now we're having really nice times out on the track. So that's really cool, and we're racing fairly down there, and it was for sure. He's the one that he pushed good pressure, so you can't put a foot wrong, and we didn't. And then we were for sure a little bit lucky that in the final that they were out in front battling, and we were able to come a bit closer because you saw nothing in the back. So I think we just won officially their event because there was some investigation. So that's nice.
Congratulations, mate. Well done. See you very soon. We'll let you celebrate with the guys. There was an investigation into the. There was some track limits investigations, I think, and I didn't know officially, but I suspect it was over Johan Kristoffersson and Kevin Hansen in their battle in the final. Let's have a quick look here. I'm sure some of Morlink will appear pretty quickly as we're looking at the car, but this is René Munich's absolutely beautiful Seat Ibiza for this season. Ready to load up on transport tyres. And that's the level these teams go to. They've got tyres just for going in the back of the truck. Mandy August car there as well. This is the DA Racing squad packing up, ready to hit the road as well. People are keen to get home after a hard weekend. It's been a hard weekend for a lot of teams, hasn't it? Is anyone around here to have a word with? You stay there for a sec, Liam. I'm just going to have a look. Don't want to wear your little legs out. No, we'll leave it in here. There's Julian Febro's car. I must ask Julian actually what happened, because he lost a lot of pace, didn't he? Julian Febro was brilliant Saturday morning, absolutely brilliant on Saturday morning, and all through Saturday, and it's today just didn't have the same pace. Is Let's go in here and have a look. Here we go. You're not driving, mate. Doesn't really matter, does it? Can I have a beer? Yeah. Yes, Kallio, spotter for Mika Liimatainen. There was a lot of pressure going into the final there. Massive fight for third place. Just didn't quite pull it off. What's the feeling in the team?
Yeah, of course, a bit disappointed because it was all open for the final. Of course, it was a lot of happening all the weekend and not easy weekend at all. But still, I think in the final we had all the keys. But it was only like 1 or 2 tenths between Litvinovic and Mika. So yeah.
You know that from your rallying now, don't you? It's often just a couple of tenths between success and disaster, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. It's so big, small margins in happening. So we tried and it didn't work out this time. But I think still Mika showed really good pace all the year, and it's not so easy to come first time like every track. So I think he should be happy, and also Mikko did also some great success, but didn't have the luck in his side. So otherwise, I'm happy. Everyone is happy, and bit disappointed today, but maybe tomorrow it feels better already.
Thank you, Jesse. Thank you for speaking to us this year. We're just going to jump in here quickly. Damien Litvinovic, you were with Mika Liimatainen and Mate Benyu in that fight for third in the championship. That was some final from our point of view. Just talk us through it from your point of view.
From my point of view, it was okay. So I was just after the start, I was P2. Spotter said that Mika go to Joker, so then it was obvious I should go. So we go, and then I think it was a little bit overmotivated and braking, and just punched me a little bit, destroyed my car a lot. Yeah, and then I watched onboard, and I was spinning around with third gear, and then I was shifting down, spinning to the first gear. Then I get hit from Patrick and just go. But then I have some damage, and then I have a flat tire. So it was hard to make this third position. But was, of course, after this crash, Benyo go ahead. So it was, no possibility to fight for the third place in championship. So yeah, I end up fourth. So for the first season, it's not so bad. So I'm not very pissed, but a little bit disappointed after this weekend, because I was very very fast all weekend. So yeah, a little bit disappointed for sure. But yeah, looking forward for next year, and I hope we will see each other next year.
Great pace, like you say, in the final to follow Yuri. We know Yuri's one of the quickest drivers in RX1, especially when he can string the laps together. Brilliant to follow him through like that.
Yeah, I was following him. After the final, of course, I was thinking maybe I should go and follow him to the rest of the race, but it was obvious decision.
Hindsight, mate, you can't do anything about it now.
Yeah, but it was obvious decision that with guy who you're fighting for the place in general standing, you just want to cut him. Yeah. So I just go for the Joker. I think it was a good decision. Joker was maybe not the best made by me, but yeah, in the end, this crash. This is one thing I always want to avoid, and didn't avoid me. Like last year in Buxtehude, I was fighting with Esped, and of course we crashed, and then now it happened. It happened second time, so yeah, but I'm not so happy about this.
Thank you, mate. We'll leave you to it. We very much hope to see you back next year. Much like this team in Paddock. Mikko, we won't interrupt you again, but thank you so much for bringing your team to this championship, because it's a pleasure to have you here. And that shows the camaraderie in URX as well, doesn't it? It was a pretty big impact between Liimatainen and Litvinovic, but Litvinovic in the tent there, just having the crack. There's the damage on the front of Liimatainen's car, upright, brake disc, steering arm. I hope the guys don't mind me picking this up, but I'm going to anyway. Look at the state of that steering arm. That's had a fair old impact, hasn't it? We won't get too close and interrupt them. They are quite some cars, aren't they? Speaking of the camaraderie in Euro RX, this is Jesse Kallio coming to have a chat with Patrick O'Donovan.
Give me that rice. You don't need to be eating on camera.
Patrick, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Hal. Yeah, nice to meet you. What's your name?
What a weekend. Amazing result. Amazing pressure coming here. Difficult day. You start in the final showed that things can go wrong at the wrong moments as well. So to get the championship nailed in the semi-final must have been a huge relief.
Yeah, it was it was definitely a massive relief. You know, Sam and the boys, they closed the door about 2 minutes before I even got called up to my starting position. And I'll be honest, when you're inside the car and the RX2E race was on, so there wasn't much noise on track. It was just me inside the car, and at that point, I started to feel it. My chest was pounding, and that feeling when you just you're about to get sick, that came in. It was there, but rolled up to the line as soon as it went green and we got a great start. It was just head down. Got some really great laps out. I think it was one of my fastest laps of the weekend anyway, and no, I was happy with it. Unfortunately, we couldn't continue that momentum into the final. I had a pretty decent reaction, actually. The reaction was great, and the initial bite was beautiful, and then it was just, as soon as I gripped, it was just, whoa, 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 and then I had to kick the clutch and go again. Lost out, but then into turn one, Karai came over, and I was like, ooh, went onto the grass sideways, but no, I mean, that's Rallycross. There's highs and lows in the sport, and I mean, we had such a high after the semi-final and a little bit of a low, but you know what, to claw back to a podium position, what a way to finish the season.
And all of that's a bit irrelevant now at the end of the day, isn't it? There's only 4 British drivers ever won the European Rallycross Championship. John Taylor, the first champion, then Will Gollop in 1992, the last driver to win in the top category. Richard Hutton won in 94 in the support class. I think you weren't even born then, and I think you probably don't really understand what it's taken lots of people to win European Championships to do it. How much does it mean to you personally?
It means everything, but I'll be completely honest, it hasn't really sunk in yet. I think it was such a hit of emotions as soon as I crossed the finish line, and now it's still it's getting to me slowly. I cried for one of the first times in a long time there after I got into the car, just built up emotion, but it means everything. The boys have worked absolutely tirelessly. My dad's worked so hard to get me to this position, same with mum, and you know, without everybody's support and everyone coming together, it just wouldn't have been possible. A championship is way more than just one event. It's everything coming together, and you have to have such a massive combination of good engineering, good strategy, good driving, but also a pretty massive part of luck. And this year it's been pretty flawless, and I just want to say a huge thank you to everybody.
In a short period of time, you've achieved some amazing things. You became the youngest ever British Rallycross champion. You're the youngest ever British driver or British licence holder, at least, to have won the European Championship. You were on the podium in Hong Kong in World RX last year. Where does today rank in that?
I would say today is probably the best day of my entire life. But I would say it's up there. It's hard to rank them individually because they've all got special meaning in their own way. I think Hong Kong is amazing to have been able to go in my first ever World RX weekend and to have such a good result against my teammates, obviously the Hansons, who have such a good experience in equal machinery. So I think that to be doing it in equal machinery had a massive impact on me. But I mean, to get to this point, it's just honestly, I've loved and enjoyed this year so much, but I'm more than happy that it's okay, that it's over for today, because I mean, I don't think I could have gone on for many more events, but no, it means the absolute world to me, and I think this is hands down the best day of my entire life.
Wonderful. Well done, Patrick. We'll leave you alone. Enjoy tonight. Let's just grab a quick word with Ollie O'Donovan, because I've known you a while, mate. I've not seen you as nervous as that. We watched you on the broadcast in the final with the thumbs going and watching the big screen. What does today mean for you personally?
Really, I'm very glad the championship is over. It's been such a build-up for the last 3-4 weeks coming here, and you know, I knew since Mete, okay, this is in his hands, but it's so easy to drop this in the last minute, you know. And been there before and dropped it. I dropped the British Championship 3 times, I think. I was second there. So for Paddock, for a 20-year-old, and for Paddock doing the European Championship, it probably means more to me and our team than it does to him yet. He doesn't realise what he has. He's too young. We do. We you know, we've seen people get so close and let it slip. So last 3 weeks are hard. I mean, the last 2 nights I haven't slept, and I think I'm going to make up for it tonight.
And this small team you have around you, it's a group of friends who work very hard. There's Sam Clennell, of course, runs the cars full time on his own, but then there's a load of guys that come together on a weekend. They've all got real jobs back home and stuff. It's a pleasurable place to be, I'm sure, to work with people you get on with so well.
Yeah, I mean, okay, it's a hobby. We're not professionals. We are very much family and privateers. So we're very, very fortunate to have these guys that have their own jobs and willing to give up the time and spend their weekends here working for us. And we're very blessed to have Sam Clennell. Yes, he's full-time with his own business, but he's full-time engaged by us. But no, it's a small team, but it carries a lot of punch. You know, Sam's got great knowledge of the cars. The boys around him, you've got Aldo there for a long time with us. You know, the whole team of lads have been there with me for the last 17 years. And they're all very good.
Finally, a word for yourself this weekend. It's look from the outside at least that you've struggled more than I've seen you struggle for a long time. Just didn't look like you were at one with the car really.
No, I was very disappointed in my own drive, and I was very happy when I drove the car and met then. I really enjoyed the car. But here, for some reason, I could not get a rhythm with the car. I couldn't place the car where I wanted all weekend. I was a pity because I wanted to enjoy the car. It was only a rental for two events, so it was a pity I didn't really enjoy it today.
Well, I'm sure Patrick's success will make up for that to a degree. And enjoy this evening, Ollie. You deserve it. We will sneak off here, Liam, because I would like to catch up with the Euro RX3 guys. It's going to be noisy here, but what KMS have done is to wash the car off in the wash bay, and now they're just drying off the brakes and the transmission, because you cannot afford to let wheel bearings, brake discs, brake calipers and stuff hold residual moisture. I was going to go speak to Johan, but it's going to be noisy in there, so we hear from Johan Kristoffersen a lot, don't we? Let me see if we can get him. I would like to speak to him. It's going to be noisy. Well, how long have we got, Liam? How long have we got? We're fine. I don't know what that means really. We'll do this walk again, and let's have a shortcut out at the back of KMS, because I would really like to get to the Volland squad at least and see who else we find in that direction. Right, there's some obstacles here, mate. You need to avoid. I don't even know if you can hear me. Things. Sosa's Ford Fiesta. I might have to steer clear of them actually, because gave him a little bit of a hard time in commentary with the RX3 final. That's what you got to do, though. Not. I always try and be fair, but I don't like to sit on the fence too much either. Oh, brilliant! There is some Volland guys here, worth the walk at least. This team have been at this game a long while as well. Let's have a shifty over here first, Liam, before they move the car, because we heard from Damien about the damage on his Audi. Wow, look at this rear quarter. If you watch from the front here, Liam, you can just see just how much the rear quarter is pushed in. There's the steelwork poking through on the composite panel, and the bumpers look, oh, you know, they move a lot and they take a lot of impact, but still huge damage. Had a puncture as well. Let's sneak in here quickly. Have a word with this guy. Sorry, mate. Rolf Volland, very well done. You've been at this game a long time. You've won a lot of titles as Volland Racing. How and I know that there's no favouritism in the team and all of those things. How is it as a father to have won this title with your son?
Yeah, I mean, of course it's different, yeah. So, I mean, I'm always nervous when my driver's driving, but with the son it's a little bit more, you know. Last year I was a little bit over pushing, so I said, okay, I have to reduce myself a little bit because it's not too good. Yeah, of course, I mean, I feel great, of course. I mean, it's for me, it's worth more than I drive. I mean, you know, that's clear.
How was the heart rate in the final? Because it was a dramatic final last year in RX3, and I think this maybe went one more as well.
You know, when I know one thing, that Niels can start, then I look at his start and say, what's that? Then I said, okay, yeah, P2, it's fine. Then I said, yeah, maybe you brake a little bit earlier. Then I said, why you brake so early? And then he was on P5. And I had my paper, took it out, saying, no, he need P4. Then I put my radio and I said all what need to be said in a quite calm way, of course. So, I mean, I cry in the radio like no tomorrow. And said, now you have to nail it completely. Then he was close. I said, okay, now we go joker. Close for the hard and told him, now we go full risk joker. You give everything now. And then out of the joker, I saw the gap and said, okay, now we have it under control again. But I was a little bit, let's say, surprised about his start.
It was his worst. I don't know if that was the worst start of his career. It was a poor one, wasn't it? Because we know that Niels is usually pretty good off the line.
Yeah, to be honest, I think he was a little bit too conservative, and I mean, maybe his smart way was okay. Maybe his smart way was okay to keep out of the fight. And I mean, you know, we have one front bumper for the whole season, so I think it's also okay.
And it gave us a brilliant race, so so that was great as well. Thank you, Rolf. We'll just jump in quickly with Nils. You're drinking a well-deserved beer. We just ripped you a little bit there for the start, but in all seriousness, that's the total wrong time for you to have. If that happened in a heat somewhere in the season, you wouldn't be too worried about it. But when you really needed it most, you must. How was the feeling in the car as you left the line there?
Yeah, I mean, it was not the best feeling, of course. To be honest, I was not so nervous before the final. I was no more nervous before the semi-final, because there was the big points which I can lose when I'm not in the final. Then it's done, and then I had quite a margin with 7 points. So I was too relaxed, because I was not so nervous before the final. But somehow my start was very shit, and I don't know what I did wrong there. We have to check it. I guess maybe I did put too much accelerator there, and the wheels were spinning too much. Then I saw also Zhao closing the gap quite early. I guess he was not one car in front of me, but I don't want to end the season with a big crash with me and Zhao. It's not how to end a good season like that, with me and him fighting the whole season together. And then I backed off, but of course it was not my plan to be P5. My plan was to be behind Zhao. It went not like that, but in the end it went like that, and I was behind Zhao, and it was enough for me.
What's the future for Nils Volland? You came into this pretty late, really. Your dad's run this team for a long time, but you've been off doing different things. You started driving a racing car pretty late as well, and you were doing it for fun. You still do it for fun. It's not a career as such. What does the future hold?
We will see. I don't know yet. I mean, of course, it's cool to drive a supercar, but I guess it's no secret that it's quite expensive. Maybe I will try it once in my life, but I will not do a full season. So I guess it will be RX3 for me. I mean, I don't know what it will be the next season, how the field looks. Also, the French Championship looks quite attractive in RX3 class. At least there are many cars, which I like a lot, and I like the tracks there, and all the crowd is a lot there. So there are two parts. I mean, for sure, European will be a way to go, or maybe even French Championship. I don't know yet. I didn't decide yet. I mean, I'm just happy that I won this European title here now. So maybe I can drive a little bit more relaxed also next year if I will come back.
You say that now, I'm sure it'll be just the same, but well done, mate. Thank you for giving us a great battle this season. Let's have a quick word with this man as well. Sorry, mate, I'm just interrupting every conversation. Yuri Belevsky, well done.
Thanks. We spoke already, yeah?
We spoke in the press conference, but just for the paddock walk quickly, I know you're probably a little bit disappointed that you couldn't complete the championship. It was a long shot coming here, but if you weren't going to get the title, to dominate the final and get your first win at this level must be pretty special.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, the weekend overall went quite nice. I mean, I made 39 points out of 40. I could quite easily control the pace when I had to control the pace and push a little bit when I had to push. Of course, I'm a bit pissed because of Sweden. You know, I mean, 26 points there, and I would say not my mistakes, more or less. That was a bit disappointing. I think otherwise the title fight would go down to the wire here in Portugal probably. I mean, I must say really heads up to Paddock. He did a mega job this year. I mean, I remember him last year, and I think he was always somewhere getting reprimands, you know, getting, what do you say, taught off, how you say it, by stewards, you know. And this year I must say he's much more mature, composed, you know, and you can see he doesn't make stupid mistakes, you know. The pace is good, so it's definitely not an easy opponent to beat. I think they worked a lot on the starts as well, it looks like, because the starts are quite good. Yeah, I mean, a little bit of disappointment, of course, but also I must say the Paddock was very strong, and a little bit of, let's say, bad luck in Sweden with only 4 rounds, you know. We have to take what we have.
Thank you, Yuri. I know we've spoken to you a few times, so I won't interrupt you again. Hopefully see you again next year. Let's just have a quick look at Yuri's car here, because they actually ran wet tyres in the final to get a good start. These are when we talk about the wets in the broadcast, that clearly a wet tyre is to disperse the water, and they just use this for the start line performance, but Yuri wasn't delighted with that choice across the running lap because lost a bit of pace. Do we have time for one more, Liam? One more, right. I just want to try and speak to Mate Benya, who Mike Chen said after we came out of the commentary box, man, he must be dehydrated because there's been some tears in this team today, haven't there? And Mate is not about at the moment. So let's wrap up and stop interrupting people, shall we? This is Matej Benyu's car that has been in the wars. Look at the front bumper. It's definitely not the front bumper they started the weekend with, but massive effort from this team, massive effort from all of the teams, but brilliant for Benyo to get in the top 3 in the championship. Thank you so much for watching the European Rallycross Championship this year. That's what I've really focused on in this paddock walk, because it's been a brilliant season, and what a final day. My head is absolute mush from working out all the points permutations. We've got more World RX to go, and yeah, I love being part of this sport, so thank you so much for watching, and we will see you soon.